Coach Kevin Keatts is making his way on over to our table.
We haven't talked to him since the Canes Cup run.
We haven't talked to him since the Canes Cup run. Coach is in a good mood joining us here, and for good reason. This is the defending ACC champion head coach at the ensuing ACC tip-off. So, the smile is well earned. Coach, I'm going to start maybe something you haven't been asked yet today.
Yeah.
I heard you weren't very good at ping pong.
I'm the best.
And it's like that, huh?
Yeah, I spent 12 years at Hargrave. And if you've ever been to Hargrave, it's in Chatham, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't know, there's not a lot to do in Chatham, Virginia. And so I spent a lot of time in the basement. I'm very picky about who I play. You have to beat somebody good before I play you. And it gives me a chance to get a scouting report on you. I know how to look at
You got to watch them in AAA before you call them up to the majors.
Watch them. That's right.
The scouting, your brain just never turns off the scouting, right? Everything's watching film.
You cannot.
How different will the team look? Not jumping to the basketball. How different will the team look this year? Because you've made a nice little habit over the last few years of turning over the roster with some transfer portal stuff, bringing in guys, and this year is no different, even with the success of last year.
Yeah, we have to find our identity. And we lost DJ Burns, who I will never coach again. Nobody in college basketball will coach a guy just like him. We lost DJ Horn, who obviously could really score the ball. We lost Casey Morsell, who had a really good year for us, defensively did some things. We lost Mo Diarra, who was obviously the ACC all-time ACC tournament all-time rebounder. That being said, we got 3 guys back, and Michael, JT, and Ben, who played a lot of minutes. You add Breon and Dennis Parker, who played early. We got 5 guys back, but we've got 8 dudes who are still trying to figure out what NC State's about. I've asked Michael and them to teach the culture and let me teach the system. The culture is show them how to work, show them how to play hard, and then I'll teach them how to play basketball in our system.
You bring up the DJ Burns, he's just a presence here. And I remember talking about it last year at ACC tip-off when he walked in the room, everybody just kind of stopped and turned, and you gave him your attention. What's harder to replace, the basketball, because he was a unique player on the court, or the presence that was the unique player just in your program and person in the room?
It's equally both, but if you said pick one, you had to pick one. It's the basketball player.
Okay.
I mean, because he became he could pass the ball. If you didn't double him, you're crazy because he was going to score. If you doubled him, you're crazy because he's going to find the right guy. And then what happens is guys started making plays away from the basketball and making shots and everything else. He was as a unique a player that we may have seen. And college basketball just happened to have 2 of them, him and Zach Edey. They were completely different, but they both were unique. But we will never see those 2 guys moving forward in college basketball.
It's like the Godzilla versus King Kong movies, right? They're just it's the poster was made for it.
Yeah.
We're talking with Kevin Keatts, head coach, NC State men's basketball, coming off an ACC championship and Final Four appearance. Coach, the last year we sat here and we talked about DJ Horn, MJ Rice, all these new faces. And you talked about finding an identity, and it almost had, like, at the last possible second, it all clicked together, and you went on that magical run. Is there anything you can pull from last year specifically to maybe not wait until you're down 12 in the ACC tournament to Louisville to get everything into alignment?
Well, if you look back at last year's team, we lost 7 games by 5 points or less. And we started off so great. 5-1 in the conference. Then you get to the heart of the schedule. I hated the schedule at the beginning of the year when I looked out there and saw 3 of the Final 4 basically on the road. We may be the only team in the history of basketball that played Carolina and Duke on a Saturday, Monday. And so I knew it was going to be a tough ending. That being said, I knew if we cleaned up our mistakes, we had a chance. And when you look at the guys that we beat in the ACC tournament, the only team that we had beaten is Louisville. I knew that was going to be a tough game. No DJ Horn. The first game is always tough. Can you get past the first game? But then we were on our comeback tour. All right, Syracuse had beat us. They talked trash to us every time they beat us.
And they did in that game also. We were in that room.
They did. You look at Duke. They had ruined our senior night. We didn't have a chance for senior night. Virginia, I think we split with those guys, but we went in overtime. Okay. And then Carolina was Carolina. You make it to the championship game, you make it to the championship. There's no extra motivation. But we did have that motivation of Armando Baycock saying the ACC runs through us. And so you got all locker room material that we talked about. When we got on that plane to go to D.C., we were like, hey, we're going to win this thing. But nobody believes that we're going to win it. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to do one game at a time. We're going to stop beating ourselves. We're going to stack wins, and this is how we're going to do it. And I give credit to the guys in the locker room. They locked in, and they did everything we asked them to do.
And you went on and did it, and thus, this offseason was what it was. As you were walking up, Dennis just said, we haven't talked to you since we were outside the Hurricanes game. You were getting ready to sound the siren. And in that conversation, I asked you, I was like, oh, recruiting has to be – you walk in with so much more buzz now. And one of your comments was, it's so much about NIL now. Yeah. So it's almost like there's that one more step. Used to be you have a great season, you win, make it to the Final Four. You go to the recruits and you say, look, we made it to the Final Four. Now you have to take that Final Four, go fundraise off of making the Final Four, then take that money to the players or take that money to the collectives, to the players, whatever the official passing of hands is. Was it easier to ask for money this year? Was it easier to raise?
Well, the valid point to it is when you go to the Final Four, it can't hurt recruiting. So I want to make sure I clear that up. But it's tough because you're almost starting over every year. And money is an issue for everybody, not just us.
Oh, yeah.
Because the biggest thing is folks are trying to figure out, the value of NIL. Do I want to give? Do I not want to give? Can it affect your team? And I would say absolutely it does. What we've had to do is, we've had to, just let our work speak for itself. Hopefully you see that if we do get the right players here, what we're capable of. And we've kind of looked at it in that way.
I don't know if you saw this. One of 24 active coaches to have led your team to the Final Four. Obviously, that fraternity gets smaller when you include an ACC championship. When you get to hang those double banners, I'm calling it a double banner night, and you get to put up both of those, what is that going to mean to you as a coach and as a coach of NC State?
I got that from Jim Larinaga. We went to the Final Four. He sent me a text and said, hey, welcome to the club. I was like, what club are you talking about? He said, well, you're one of 24 active head coaches. And I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Just think about that. Hanging those banners, makes me proud. It is for everyone. This is a fan base that has been starving for something major to happen in football, baseball, and men's basketball. And to be able to deliver something like that, I've got folks who come up to me and tell me about their grandparents and what they got a chance to experience in 74 and 83, which is tremendous. And I've got grown men crying. The students are loaded up because they like exactly what's going on. Our alumni, our former players, this current team that people gave up on, wrote them off, and to be able to deliver in a way you were thinking now that it was going to be 38 years or whatever, and all of a sudden the team that had lost 4 in a row at the end, number 10 seed, goes on to number 1, win the ACC championship and take you to the Final Four. Man, it's so special, and who you beat along the way, it's really, really unique.
Just as you guys circled games, you realize you're the circled game quite a few times this year, where you're going to be getting everybody's best shot because you ended their seasons.
Well, I mean, that's what it is. We've circled a bunch in our past too. And so, hey, if that's what it takes, I'd love to be that circle team if we have to have that.
We were just talking with Michael O'Connell about staving off that Final Four hangover, and one of the things he said was, well, everybody wasn't there, right? We have some new guys who maybe do we not know yet. We know JT, we know O'Connell. We're going to talk to them both here today, but who do we not know that we will pretty quickly here in this season?
Well, we're unique. I think we have a bunch of 10, 12 points a game guys. We didn't know going into the season last year that DJ Horn was going to be DJ Horn. We've lost our
nice surprise.
Yeah, we've lost our starting our leading scorer for pretty much every year that I've been here. But what we're trying to do is try to figure out, all right, now who can step up, who can be that guy, and we don't know that yet, and that's a good thing. I caution people to say just because we won the ACC and went to the Final Four, that doesn't make it an automatic. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got 8 new guys, and I need guys like JT. I need guys like Michael. I need guys like Ben Middlebrooks to step up and teach our culture to get us where we need to be, to put us in that position to compete for that again.
As you were answering, Jayden Taylor actually sat down next to you, put on a headset. So, Jayden, we'll kind of take the next step there. How are you passing along the culture that coach wants to set to the new freshmen and the new transfers?
Yeah, I say just leading by example, being a guy that's being more vocal, coming in every day and not just talking about it, kind of doing it, and putting myself in their shoes and listening to them, just connecting and building a relationship now.
In the ways you can say in front of coach here, I was on your Instagram, and is the Cybertruck yours?
Oh no, that's not mine. Nah, it was just written.
I was gonna say there's a lot of pictures. There's a lot of stuff there.
Let me turn around and look at him. Goodness gracious.
No, that's not mine. It was just rented.
Because I want to know what life is like for the returning leading scorer on a Final Four team.
I got to get you to report to me on everybody's Instagram. I ain't been following them enough to know what these guys are doing.
Yeah, no, that was a little birthday thing.
As soon as I start doing that, they're going to start deleting posts. It's going to be a lot less out there.
Yeah.
But it looked like a fun offseason for you.
Yeah,
Obviously, coach, a lot of workout videos, a lot in the gym. So let me report back on the good stuff, too.
Hey, I don't worry about that. He works, and he puts the right stuff on Instagram and everything else. But this is one of our hardest workers that we have. And he's been there. He's been that way from day one. He loves the gym. He lives in the gym.
So what have you added to your game? What's the next step?
Yeah, I want to just be a more consistent shooter. Just believing in my shot more, playing off my shot. I feel like that will just take care of itself for things for me, honestly.
Last one here for you, and thank you both for your time. Last year, jersey number 1. I saw this year. There's 8 ball is the hashtag.
That's all
jersey number 8. Why the change?
Yeah, so my grandfather had like a pool table in his house, and like that's one thing me and my family always play. And like the 8 ball is just the last ball to go in the hole when you win. So like my senior year, last ball, I went with 8. You know.
Coach, we like that one.
Yeah.
We from ping pong to pool, we got all the table games.
When he said he wanted 8, I said it's available. You can have 8, but I never knew that. That's a good story.
Take one of these freshman shooters, turn them into darts, and we got like the whole game. Both of you, thank you very much for stopping by. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you.